Well, hello fellow YouTubers, this is Snake55 Wildcat presenting you with my 8th Pokemon Black and White battle and my first narrated battle. So, and what have I got myself in for today? Well, if we look in the battle videos, the newest video I have got is a battle against someone I have faced many times before, but this is a little different. Let's just say I'm not using my own Pokemon, I'm using his, and he is using mine. So the view of the battle will be on his side, but he will be using my Pokemon. So this may be a little interesting to get your head round, but once we get it going, I hope you enjoy. Right then, I'm actually on the opponent's side, just to clarify, just to make sure you guys remember. So my friend, who's on my side, is using Trollfisk, and I use his Cofagrigus, nicknamed Penance. He switches out to my Charizard, but what he doesn't know is that the Cofagrigus that I've chosen is actually disguised Zoroark. So I trick him and pull off a Sword Stance. So I get the attack boost, which is really helpful, and thankfully my his Zoroark is faster than my Charizard, since I'm still on the opponent's side, don't forget. So I take out his Charizard and get an early lead. He brings back in Trollfisk, realising it is Zoroark after the Sword Stance, since obviously a normal one doesn't learn it. I use Night Slash on the Trollfisk, and it does a hefty amount of damage, actually killing it, but it was a critical hit. Whether or not it could have killed it with that, I'm not entirely sure. Probably. So I'm on a 2 Pokemon early lead, 6-4 to me. So he brings in Volcarona. I use U-turn to escape and switch to a better Pokemon, and I do a decent amount of damage, around a third you could say. So I switch him out, and I bring in the real one. The real Cofagrigus, not the Zoroark disguised one. So he uses Bug Buzz, knowing it was Zoroark after the Sword Stance, obviously. But because of the Ghost type, I survive quite well. He uses Will-O-Wisp to burn me and drain more of my health every turn, to prevent me from... oh god. Damn it, I can't remember. But I use Calm Mind to get more special defense boosts, to help me survive more of Volcarona's extremely powerful special attacks. He uses Flamethrower on the Cofagrigus, for good reason, stab, and it's got Flame Plate, which I really should change. But I get greedy and use Calm Mind again, something I do regret in this match, because I could have kept it alive. But never mind, I get burned, obviously, but I switch it out because I didn't know what else I could do. So I bring in his Samurott, which is one of his favourite Pokemon. This should be interesting nonetheless. He uses Flamethrower, predicting that I would keep Penance in, but I don't. I stay around just over half, which is good. And then he Bug Buzzes me because he is faster, and yeah, that does take me out. So already I'm one Pokemon down, and he is 2. Don't forget that I'm on the opponent's side. Just to reiterate the point, I bring in his Haxorus, nicknamed Deity, and I don't blame him for naming that, because it's really powerful. But the Volcarona burns it, preventing me from pulling off many powerful attacks. And to add insult to injury, my Rock Slide misses, and then uses Bug Buzz to deal a lot of damage, but it almost doesn't kill me. It almost kills me, but I barely hang on, pull off the Rock Slide, and I take out Volcarona. However, because of the burn it left on me earlier, the burn will finish off the Haxorus, making us both lose a Pokemon this turn. Right, he brings in the Sceptile, which is fast becoming one of my better Pokemon. Remember, don't forget, he is on my side, I am on his. So I use his Mesprit, trying to be a little different with his Pokemon. He has a lot to choose from, so it's pretty difficult to choose a good team to go against. So he goes for X's. It only does less than half, only just. I go for Psychic, almost taking it out, but he switches out his Sceptile for Dragonite, being as my Dragonite is a bit more of a tankish kind of one, meant to be annoying, but I suppose it works alright as an attacker, but it's only got special attacks. But even so, Mespri survives quite well and gets a little bit of, and it gets citrus berry recovery, and then I pull off a psychic on it again. And I take it out. Yep. And he is quite far down now, so he brings in probably my signature Pokemon of the 5th generation, Sawsbuck, aptly named Buck Off. No profanities here. So I pull off Roleplay, trying to take the Levitate and replace it with its Sap Sipper, hoping it would fall for it, but of course, it did not. My opponent, who was on my side, don't forget, is a much more experienced player than I am, at least in terms of how to do the Pokemon and how to use them. So I bring back in Penance, but however, because I use it as fodder because I can't really do much with it, because it was going to die anyway and whatever happened. But I used it to get rid of Buck Off's immunity, not that it was actually helpful, but now I've lost 2 Pokemon down within 2 turns. So I bring in the Zoroark, which is now undisguised. I still have 1 Pokemon left, and so does he. I use U-turn to deal a lot of damage, but it survives quite well. But the mummy passes on because of how it works, and I lose my illusion ability. I keep forgetting what it's called. But I switch it out, and I bring in my final Pokemon, which is Alakazam. I believe it is a Calm Mind set. It's been a while since this battle has happened, so I may not remember everything. But it kills me in 1 hit. So I am not able to pull off anything with the Spoonbender. So Sawsbuck is already leaving a trail of destruction, as usual, even though I'm on the opponent's side and getting obliterated by it. Thankfully, Zoroark is faster, and I take out Sawsbuck. Almost. Sadly, I don't. So he uses Horn Leech, Stab, of course, and Big Root, which is the item that's given to it to help it get more health after the hit. I survive barely, and I take it out with another U-turn to make sure it can't keep its reign of destruction. However, if you kept your eye on this side, he's actually kept his Sceptile alive, keeping it for the last Pokemon, and thereby, because it's faster, it thereby kills the Zoroark, and I lose the match. But it was a close one nonetheless. So, he won, and I do hope you enjoyed the battle, and I hope to do some more soon. Good day, and keep battling.